February 1836. Texas is a land in revolt. For months, Anglo-American settlers and Tejano residents alike have taken up arms against the government of Mexico, against the man who has remade himself as its supreme ruler, General Antonio Lopez de Santa Anna. The Republic of Texas is barely a dream. It has no army to speak of, no treasury, no walls worth defending, except one. In the town of San Antonio de Béxar stands an old Spanish mission. The locals call it the Alamo. Its stone walls are thick but crumbling. Its chapel roof has long since fallen. It is not a fort. It was never meant to be. And yet, on the second day of February, a garrison of roughly 150 men decides to hold it. Their commander is William Barret Travis, 26 years old, a lawyer from South Carolina who traded a courtroom for a cavalry sword and never looked back. He is impulsive, ambitious, and absolutely convinced that Texas cannot survive if the Alamo falls without a fight. Beside him stands James Bowie, frontiersman, land speculator, legend, already weakened by what may be typhoid fever. And somewhere in that crowd of volunteers, a man from Tennessee named David Crockett arrives with a dozen riflemen and a fiddle, as if daring death to take itself too seriously. They are, by most counts, fewer than 200 men. Santa Anna is marching north with an army of more than 1,000. February 23rd. The Mexican army enters Béxar. Travis watches from the walls as a column of cavalry fills the main plaza. He fires the Alamo's 18-pound cannon, a single defiant shot, and the siege begins. That night, a red flag appears above the church of San Fernando. Santa Anna's signal. No quarter will be given. No prisoners. No mercy. Travis sits down and writes. His hand moves quickly. The candle gutters. Outside, the Mexican band plays the diguelo. The Fire and Death March, without stopping. He signs it. Victory or death. The letter is carried out through Mexican lines by courier. Travis sends copies in every direction. He will send more over the coming days, urgent, eloquent, increasingly desperate. 32 volunteers from Gonzales will answer the call. They slip through enemy lines on the night of March 1st. They are the only ones who come. The days bleed together. Mexican artillery fires in rotating shifts. Morning, afternoon, night. Slowly grinding the north wall to rubble. The defenders patch the breaches with earth and timber. They sleep in their coats. They eat whatever remains. Travis moves constantly along the walls. He checks the sentries. He writes more letters. He counts ammunition. Bowie's condition worsens. By the final days, he commands from a cot, pistols within reach, too sick to stand. Crockett keeps watch at the low wooden palisade between the chapel and the south wall, the most exposed post, reportedly keeping morale alive with his rifle and his voice. The garrison knows, by the second week, that no large relief force is coming. The Texas Provisional Government is paralyzed by political quarrels. Sam Houston's nascent army is still forming, far to the east. Travis does not flinch. Whether out of conviction or pride, or the cold arithmetic of martyrdom, he chooses to hold. Tradition holds that on the 12th day, he draws a line in the dirt with his sword and asks every man willing to die for Texas to step across. Almost all of them do. This detail may be legend, but the choice it represents was real. March 6th, 1836, 4 in the morning. The Mexican bombardment, which has barely paused in 13 days, falls suddenly silent. In the darkness beyond the walls, 1,800 soldiers move into position. 4 columns, 4 directions. General Cos leads the northwest, General Romero, the east, General Duque, the north, General Morales, the south gate. Santa Anna watches from a distance. Inside, the defenders sleep in shifts. The silence wakes some of them. Travis is said to have risen, taken his shotgun and sword, and walked to the north wall. The Mexican bugles sound. All 4 columns charge at once. The north wall breaks first. Travis fires down into the mass of men below. Moments later, accounts differ, but the consensus is fast. He falls. A single shot. He dies on the wall. He refused to leave. The Mexican troops pour over the rubble. The defenders fall back to the barracks, to the chapel, to the last rooms with any cover. The fighting moves indoors. In the dim light of early morning, with powder smoke filling every corridor, men fight room to room. And in the darkness before the sun clears the horizon, one voice, barely above a whisper. Bowie dies on his cot. The accounts of how, whether fighting, whether
Still
conscious,
here.
remain disputed.
Still standing.
Crockett's fate is the most debated of all. Some accounts say he fell fighting near the palisade. A Mexican officer's diary, surfaced decades later, claims he was captured and executed on Santa Anna's orders. Historians still argue the point. By 6 in the morning, it is over. The battle lasts roughly 90 minutes. Of the roughly 189 defenders, none survive as combatants. A small number of women, children, and enslaved individuals are spared and released. Susanna Dickinson, wife of artillery captain Almoron Dickinson, is sent east by Santa Anna, deliberately, to carry news of the massacre to Sam Houston. The Alamo should have ended the Texas Revolution. It does the opposite. Remember the Alamo becomes a battle cry that spreads through every camp, every town, every newspaper in the young republic. 6 weeks later, at San Jacinto, Sam Houston's army destroys Santa Anna's force in 18 minutes. Santa Anna is captured. Texas wins its independence. The 189 men who held those walls for 13 days did not save Texas by surviving. They saved it by refusing to leave. Travis's letter, carried from hand to hand across a continent, is still read today. The Alamo still stands, battered, smaller than it was, surrounded now by a city, but standing. Some battles are remembered because they were won. This one is remembered because of what the men who lost it chose to believe, that a line drawn in the dirt, in the dark, before an overwhelming enemy, was worth everything, victory or death. They got both. If this story moved you, subscribe so you never miss the next one. Because 6 weeks after the Alamo fell, Sam Houston had 18 minutes to win Texas, or lose it forever. That's next.